The 5th annual festival and the 5th Avenue Festival is celebrating black culture in Gainesville. TV 20's Ethan Badowski tells us how one high school student is using the event to send a message to state education lawmakers who are banning certain black books in Florida classrooms.
We're not going to go away no matter what you do in legislature.
That is Kristen Cooper's message to Florida lawmakers. The PK Young student held a press conference at this year's 5th Avenue Festival in Gainesville to protest the banning of books in Florida classrooms. She says kids are not getting the full understanding of how people before them helped set up a better future for them.
It's angering because you need to know the full picture of what happened in their life to shape them who they were, why they were fighting for certain things, why they went through certain things. Their life wasn't easy while they were paving these ways for us.
Books banned include To Kill a Mockingbird and biographies about black leaders such as Hank Aaron and John Lewis. Leaders at the NAACP say it is on them to make sure history does not get lost with this generation.
Teachers, work so hard in order to make sure that children are educated, but if they don't have access to what they need to teach, then it makes it very hard and sort of like a warped situation.
Black history is a part of American history. We cannot be cut out of the history because we help to build this country. Our job is to make sure that our youth have access to the books that they can't read.
In the Alachua County NAACP will be hosting another banned book giveaway next month at Spring Hill Missionary Baptist Church, featuring these banned books and more. Reporting in Gainesville, Ethan Badowski, TV 20.